Caicedo confirms he wants to leave amid reported bids from Arsenal and Chelsea. Ecuador midfielder Moses Caicedo wants to leave Brighton. The 21-year-old took to Instagram to make his position clear on Friday evening, following reports of a rejected £60 million bid from Arsenal. Caicedo, also the subject of a rejected bid from Chelsea and heavily reported as a Liverpool transfer target, thanked Brighton but made clear that he wants to move on. Brighton midfielder Moses Caicedo took to social media to confirm that he wants to leave the club following reports of a rejected £60 million Arsenal bid for his services. Caicedo, a 21-year-old Ecuadorian international, made a series of posts on Instagram and Twitter, essentially pleading his case to be allowed to leave Brighton in this transfer window. He said, "I am grateful to Brighton for giving me the chance to come to the Premier League and I feel I have always done my best. I always play football with a smile and with heart. I am proud to be able to bring in a record transfer fee for Brighton which would allow them to reinvest it and help the club continue to be successful. I am the youngest of 10 siblings from a poor upbringing in Santo Domingo in Ecuador. My dream has always been to be the most decorated player in the history of Ecuador. The fans have taken me into their hearts and they will always be in my heart, so I hope they can understand why I want to take this magnificent opportunity." The posts came after it was widely reported that Brighton had rejected Arsenal's offer, which would represent a record sale for the club. On Saturday morning it emerged that the midfielder had skipped training and was in doubt about the club's FA Cup clash with Liverpool. Brighton is believed to be reluctant to lose such a highly influential player so late in the January transfer window and is subsequently unlikely to make it easy for Arsenal to get this deal over the line. It was reported earlier in January that a £55 million bid from Chelsea had also been rejected, while Liverpool is also commonly reported to be interested in acquiring the Ecuadorian. However, Arsenal may also be highly motivated buyers. The Gunners had already lost Egypt midfielder Mohamed Elneny to injury and faced the prospect of also seeing fellow midfielder Thomas Partey sidelined, with the Ghanaian to undergo an MRI scan on Saturday. Should Partey's injury keep him out of the team for a significant period, it would represent a blow to the Gunners' Premier League title hopes. Partey has made 16 appearances in the league so far this season, with Arsenal winning 14 and drawing 2. It was subsequently reported on Saturday morning that the Gunners had returned with an improved offer. Whether that will be enough to convince Brighton to let Caicedo leave remains to be seen. Caicedo joined Brighton in 2020 from Independiente in Ecuador and spent the 2021-22 season on loan at Beerschot in Belgium. This is his first full season in the Premier League. The Seagulls have been highly effective sellers within the Premier League in recent years, with the sales of Marc Cucurella, Ben White, Yves Bissouma, Leandro Trossard, Neil Maupay and Dan Burn bringing in nearly £200 million in transfer fees in the last 2 years. White and Trossard both moved to Arsenal, with Trossard making the switch earlier in this transfer window. Also, Arsenal knocked back with £60 million bid for Brighton midfielder Moses Caicedo. Arsenal has had a £60 million bid for Brighton midfielder Moses Caicedo rejected and is weighing up an improved offer, say reports. The Gunners are looking to reinforce their Premier League leading squad this month and have already brought in Leandro Trossard and Jakub Kiwior. Brighton doesn't want to sell Caicedo in January despite being offered what would be a club record fee. Brighton have turned down a £60 million bid from Arsenal for Moses Caicedo that would have made the midfielder the club's most expensive sale. Caicedo has attracted interest from the Premier League leaders and big spending Chelsea this month after an impressive spell on the south coast. However, we report that a £60 million bid from Arsenal was turned down because Brighton doesn't want to sell one of the key players in January. That fee would represent a club record sale, beating the current high of £57 million plus add-ons that took Marc Cucurella to Chelsea last summer. Arsenal is said to be considering a second bid for the Ecuador international, who starred for his country at the World Cup at the end of last year. West Ham captain Declan Rice is another name on the Gunners' list of targets, but any deal will have to wait until the summer. Caicedo, 21, has another 2.5 years left on his Brighton contract and he doesn't appear bothered by the speculation around his future. "I am focused now on Brighton. I am here, I'm playing every day," the Ecuadorian told us. "What happens outside doesn't trouble me, nor does it take the focus away because I'm focused only on here." Arsenal is currently 5 points clear on top of the Premier League table at the midway stage of the season. But Mikel Arteta's side is looking to reinforce their squad for a big title push in the run-in and have already signed one player from Brighton this month, winger Leandro Trossard. Arsenal also brought in Poland international defender Jakub Kiwior from Spezia to add depth to Arteta's options at the back. Caicedo joined Brighton from Independiente del Valle in his homeland in February 2021 and spent the first half of the 2021-22 campaign on loan with Belgian side Beerschot. He has been a key player for Brighton this season, firstly under Graham Potter and then under his successor Roberto De Zerbi, making 21 appearances in all competitions and scoring 1 goal. And also, Moses Caicedo to Arsenal transfer blow, Thomas Partey's injury latest and Ivan Fresneda's chances. Time for a Q&A with football. London's chief Gunners correspondent on all things going on at the Emirates Stadium heading into the final few days of the transfer window. It's set to be a frantic few days at the Emirates Stadium. After their elimination from the FA Cup by Manchester City on Friday night, Arsenal's need to bring players has ramped up even more. The Gunners saw Thomas Partey forced to withdraw from the game at half-time with a rib injury, and with Mohamed Elneny set to be out for some time, Mikel Arteta is keen to bring in reinforcements. We have some necessities and if something else is available the club is willing to try to do it when it's reasonable and hopefully it's a player that can improve our squad, the Spaniard said in his pre-match press conference. Moses Caicedo is the main focus of attention right now and Arsenal has already had a £60 million bid rejected. The Ecuadorian has taken the bold step of posting on social media to plead with Brighton to allow him to leave, but at the minute it appears they will not budge. With all that going on it feels like the perfect time to talk all things Arsenal with our chief Gunners correspondent Kaya Kainak. The Q&A session is underway and you can get involved by submitting your questions in the comments section below on any topic you like. Kaya will then be answering as many of your queries about what's happening at the club as possible over the remainder of the day. And also, Arsenal transfer news, second Moses Caicedo bid, lodged, amid Declan Rice impact. All the latest Arsenal transfer chatter from the last 24 hours, including updates on Moses Caicedo, Declan Rice and Ivan Fresneda. We now have less than a week before the January transfer window slams shut and Arsenal is still hoping to do some last-minute business. The North London outfit has already made 2 signings this month, bringing in Belgian winger Leandro Trossard from Brighton, as well as Polish centre-half Jakub Kiwior from Serie A side Spezia. Manager Mikel Arteta is also keen to bring in a midfielder during the winter window, with Brighton maestro Moses Caicedo the primary target. With that being said, football, London takes a look at the latest news on the Gunners' pursuit of Caicedo, as well as Spanish defender Ivan Fresneda. Second Caicedo bid. Arsenal saw an offer of £60 million for the aforementioned Caicedo rejected on Friday. We understand with Brighton demanding more than £75 million for the Ecuadorian international. Now, the Daily Mail has reported that a second bid has been lodged, worth £60 million, plus £10 million in add-ons. It is also claimed that the Seagulls will reject this, instead instructing any potential buyers to pay £80 million for the 21-year-old. Rice impact. Arsenal has also been linked with another midfielder in the form of West Ham United captain Declan Rice. However, it is thought that any move for Caicedo will not impact their pursuit of Rice, who we understand is the primary target for the summer transfer window. The Gunners are hoping they can sign both and there is hope that this is possible. So, what do you think about the transfer story? Please leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more Arsenal news and updates. Arsenal, the Gunners. The original. Arsenal, the best club ever.